looks like a kindergarten classroom.
Oh,
So
that
I'm
is
sure they're referring to your happy little notes.
We have our happy little clouds and our happy little notes because we love Bob Ross. And so many people, thank you, by the way, for appreciating my improvisation. Thank you. Yeah, these are, I am honored. I am more than honored by many people comparing me to the musical side of Bob Ross. And I think that is truly an honor and it truly very, very close to my heart. Art and music, so many things in my life. Went to the High School of Music and Art, which was the most unbelievable 4 years. Well, no, I've had many unbelievable years, but one of the most unbelievable 4 years of living from 1958 through 1962 in high school, right in the middle of City College in New York City, and then it combined with another high school called the High School of Performing Arts, and they took those two high schools and put them together, and then they moved down to Lincoln Center and around that area on the west side of Manhattan in New York City, and they called it LaGuardia High School, and it was just, I always say, the little boy from the Bronx, that was me, got out into the big city. Of course, prior to that, I was in the Juilliard School of Music prep division when I was 10. But all those wonderful, wonderful years, and art, music and art. I even remember an art teacher named there. Her name was Mrs. Fert, P-F-E-R-D-T. She was a sweet woman and loved art. And my mother was an artist.
Thank you, Super.
My mother was a wonderful, wonderful artist. So that's what this is all about. Art and music. And when my mother used to paint, she would just improvise. She would make up, and she was in her own world. My mother was very, very, very esoteric, very way out there.
Thank you, Jared.
Right, Mindy?
Very much so.
She was.
Bernie's mother was very much like Bernie in so many ways.
I was an only child too.
They were. The similarities are extraordinary. They're both small people. His mom was real tiny. How tall was mom? Not even 5 feet tall?
No, mom was 5 feet tall.
I don't believe
No,
that.
then when you met her, she was much older and she shrunk. She must have been 4'11".
Yeah,
but she was a very, 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 very talented.
And
I wonder if I could pull that picture that she made when she was 15 off the wall. You want to?
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Actually, let me tell them about Mother Martha.
Martha. My mother was Martha. And her mother's name was Mary.
Okay, guys, so I'm going to tell you, hopefully I didn't screw this up. The camera again. Camera and I aren't getting along today. So anyway.
Is it good?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, cool.
So, Mother Martha, she was really, really cute. She was a teeny tiny little lady, and she had a very teeny tiny little voice. There was just cuteness all around her. But she was like so big as far as big in heart and big in sweetness, and just what radiated out of her was pure happiness. It's like, wow, I'm really starting to remember her. She passed away, oh goodness gracious, it must be now about 26 years ago. Yeah, I think Josh was just maybe he was a year or two, I've got to ask Bernie. But she passed away many, many years ago. But she was just exactly what Bernie is with music is what she was with her art. And I have to, when he comes back, I'm going to get some things to show you also. She used to love to paint shells. and she, lived in Florida. Oh, he already got the shell. So she lived in Florida, and she used to love to go to the beach and collect the shells, and
With my papa.
she would paint the shells. And our house, I mean, it's perfect for Florida, but we have shells galore all over the house of, shells that she painted, and just unbelievably beautiful. And our entire house is just, I think we may have, aside for some photos of, Josh and Max and the pups, of
And the
course.
pups, we got more photos of the pups than anybody.
But everything else throughout the house, except maybe one painting, are hers. And she also, oh my gosh, she painted plates. And we have one wall back there that's filled with all of her plates that she painted, which are just unbelievable. And she was an improviser, nothing had to be, just like with Bernie, the music is perfect from the perspective of perfection in his ear. Art was perfect with her perfection, and her improvisation of everything that she did, and everything that just, came right through her heart and soul was all about artistic capabilities, artistic life, artistic world, because that's all that she was about. But she was a real sweetheart, and anybody was truly blessed to know of her. And she loved animals. She loved puppies. Way back when we had our first child was our first poodle, and that was Steffi. And oh my goodness gracious me, did she love Steffi, and Steffi loved her. And she really, the more and more I think about it, I mean, Bernie was really turned out to be totally like his mother.
Wow.
So, anyway.
Not exactly.
Yeah, in many ways. In many ways. Very sweet, wonderful woman. Okay.
And one of the best things about my parents, they were not demanding of me, They didn't say, you got to do this or you got to do that. They just let me do what I wanted to do. And that's unusual. I think in that way I was so fortunate. I'm holding some things here. First, let me show you. I'm going to put this down on over here. I'm going to put the shell. I have a big shell here. I want to show you how she painted it. So this all started out with some wonderful person said this looks like a kindergarten room. And I'm very proud of the way we fixed this up. We were featured by Twitch, what was it, a couple of months ago? Remember when we were like the stream of the week or whatever? I don't remember what it was. And if people on Twitch are listening, once again, we so much appreciate that. But one of the nicest comments we get on what we do is that we don't need, what is it called? Greens, the
Green screen?
Green screen, that's what it's called. We don't need any, we're just ourselves. Of course, I couldn't do this without Mindy, and we definitely could not have done this without Max, who started us on Twitch, because, as I said, 6 months ago, around that, had no idea what Twitch was. And it's like a dream, it's amazing. So here's a picture that we have hung up in the hallway when you come into the house. And it doesn't say Martha Katzman, because her maiden name was Singer, Martha Singer. And it says she was 15 years old. And by trade, she was a textile designer. This is before textiles were made in China. And I'm sure there were textiles made in China, don't misunderstand me. But the majority of textiles, prints, cloth, things that you wear, clothing, were made in the United States, and it was practically all made out of cotton, and cotton came from the South, and
They're asking if you to show it closer.
Okay, I'm going to show. I didn't have a chance to show it. I should show it while I'm talking. I'm sorry. So here it says Martha Singer, age 15, and I don't know. I'm going to look at the screen to see if there is a glare, because there is glass covering it. It's very old. My mother was born in 1906. That's a long time ago. So She was 15. Unfortunately, the glare. Can you see it?
Yeah, that's good. That's
And
just like
it
that.
shows you how at the age of 15 she had skills and a sense of um, perspective, and more than perspective, that's not the word, symmetry, a sense of symmetry. And you know, music is so much like that. When you compose and improvise, you get to feel that there is a definite need for a form in music, and things have to relate. And it's so beautiful. Anyway, that's my mother's picture when she was 15, Martha Singer. And then she met my father, who was Irving Katzman.
Upset droid says at 15 I had trouble tying my shoes.
That's the name, Martha Katzman. I love looking at this. And this and the background, I mean, this cloth behind it that's pretty old stuff. And they made, so anyway, so she worked for a company called oh boy, it's dusty a little bit. M. Lowenstein and Sons, and they were one of the largest textile producers in the United States. And of course, New York City was the headquarters. The mills were down in probably South Carolina, where they got all the cotton and around that area, Georgia, South Carolina. And she made the most intricate flowers and designs and a lot of material. She didn't design clothing. She designed the prints, and they were called. I used to go watch her paint with very fine brushes, tiny little brushes made out of sable hair, and then she had to make what was called repeats, because most people don't realize. I mean, this is one pattern, but most clothing, or for example, things that you have, it has to be repeated over so that the printing could work. But here's a shell that she made. And then enough talk about my mother, I suppose. I don't want to, it's like everything else. A show has its form, and we have to sense how long to spend on one subject. And I feel that we're coming, it's feeling. It's more of an art than anything, feeling. This is a shell. Can you see it? Mm-hmm. Of the, I'll bring it closer. I'm holding it straight, sort of. Yeah. And we have, how many shells do you think?
Oh my God, countless.
Countless shells.
Countless.
And she used to love the sea and I love water and boats. And my father was an amateur fisherman.
Okay, one last thing to show and then we'll stop.
Okay. Should I play something first?
No, it's right here.
Well, it's right here? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Indy's getting something. And, wow, yeah. Thank you so much, everybody. Oh, Mindy's bringing a plate. And this just shows you, and she used her, actually there was a crack in this plate, and we crazy glued it together. When we moved to Florida from New York, this plate broke, and I'm really happy that there is such a thing as crazy glue. But just to show you flowers, and I remember when she used to paint these, and the gold in these was black, and then when they went into the kiln, it was gold cyanide, I believe it or not, that's what it was. And was it cyanide? Gold, what's the other poison? I forgot. Maybe those of you who are experts in art will know what I'm talking about. And this was done in 1976, it says. But it just shows you a picture, and it's all, and then the gold comes out after the heat. It melts away the other part of the compound, and on top of it is gold. Now I'm turning it right. So this is just an example of the kind of artwork.
So you go put that back, Bernie, just, it always makes me nervous when it's not put back.
I'll be back in 1 minute, or less than a minute. Mindy will take over.
And just want to give you back this so we can make sure that nothing breaks.
Put that back. It'll take too long.
These I'll bring back.
Okay. Anyway.
I'm afraid one of the pups may
And those of you,
Okay.
Mindy, let me take it from you. I'm afraid this will fall.
See, he doesn't trust me either, guys. I got this one.
You sure?
Yeah.
Watch the wire.
Yep.
We have
Yep.
wires all
Very
over
good.
the place.
Okay.
Where should I put this? Can I put
Just
this?
bring it over here, and then
Okay.
I will.
I'm going to leave it right here. Because I feel that
Just bring it over here.
we need some music.
Yep. And I'm
Immediately.
coming with the next request.
Okay, next. Music coming back. I'm putting it right here, honey. Okay. Here comes the music. And the puppies are barking. And I ran out of my drink. Okay, you know what? Mindy, if you can get me a drink later, I want to play music. I'm back. I'm coming back. We are all together in our home. And we rent this house, you know. And luckily, we have this house. Otherwise, we could never do this in an apartment in New York. How can you do twitching in an apartment in New York where 50 neighbors will bang on your door? Shut the hell up! You know, right? You can't do it.
Yeah, we gotta live in the wilderness.
It's pretty quiet. Once in a while, you hear somebody revving a motorcycle.
All the noise Bernie makes, we need to live in the
Excuse
wilderness.
me?
With,
What did you say I made?
With the wolves.
With the wolves.
Okay,
I
here
love
we
wolves.
go.
Wolves are beautiful.
I
Okay.
like wolves.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Back to
Here we
back
go.
to music.
Here we go.
I'm
Let
gonna
me just
listen.
find this.